Have you ever felt stuck in an endless cycle of worries and insecurities, as if life is always just out of your control? What if, with a simple shift within yourself, you could change the way you experience every moment and find true happiness, no matter what's happening around you? Sadhguru reveals a truth that challenges what most people believe. The key to transforming your life isn't about changing everything around you, but about mastering what's inside you. This video is more than just another motivational speech. It's a call to action, an invitation to deeply change your perspective and improve yourself in ways you never thought possible. Curious? Watch now and begin your journey of transformation. Sadhguru teaches us that well-being isn't necessarily tied to physical health, but to the joy we feel inside. Have you ever noticed how some people, even when they're unwell, still radiate happiness and optimism? It's as if they've discovered a secret to self-improvement that goes beyond the body. According to Sadhguru, the secret lies in vibrant, vital energies. When these energies are high, happiness naturally follows, even in tough situations. It's a powerful reminder that improving yourself is often more about how you feel internally than what's happening physically. Picture someone with a bad cold who still manages to smile and enjoy time with friends. This person has realized that joy is an internal choice. Our happiness doesn't have to depend on perfect physical health, but on how we choose to experience life. Want a practical exercise? The next time you're feeling physically uncomfortable, shift your focus to something you love doing. Reading a great book, like The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, might be a fantastic way to lift your spirits and improve yourself. Sadhguru also emphasizes that depression often stems from low vital energy. Instead of just looking for physical remedies, we can ask ourselves, how can I raise my energy right now? A walk in nature, listening to uplifting music, or even a few minutes of meditation could be simple yet effective solutions. When we shift our internal state, well-being becomes something we can achieve, regardless of what's happening with our body. That's where the true magic of self-improvement lies. Sadhguru reflects on how, as children, happiness seemed to be everywhere. Remember how easy it was to feel joy with just a toy, a friend, or an afternoon of play? But as we grow up, the outside world starts to dictate our mood. We begin to believe that happiness comes only when everything is perfect. The dream job, the fancy car, the house with a pool. Yet even after getting those things, many still find themselves unhappy. In the end, real personal growth goes far beyond accumulating material possessions. Imagine a child feeling pure, intense happiness after receiving a simple gift. Now think about an adult who buys a new car, but immediately starts worrying about payments, insurance, and wear and tear. It seems like we've lost the simplicity of finding joy in the little things. Sadhguru reminds us that despite all our technological and material advancements, humanity is still searching for true joy. The key lies in transforming ourselves from within, rather than relying solely on external comforts. For many, happiness always feels like it's just ahead, something we're constantly chasing. But the truth is, real joy comes from within. It's not easy to break free from the social pressures and expectations surrounding us, but that's the secret. Why not try looking inward, discovering what truly matters, and realizing that this transformation is an internal journey? The next step is figuring out how we can free ourselves from the mind's control. Sadhguru emphasizes that letting others control our inner state is a form of mental slavery. It's like handing over the key to our happiness, letting other people's words or actions dictate how we feel. This is dangerous because, as long as we depend on external factors for our well-being, we'll never be truly free. True freedom comes when we learn to manage our inner experience, no matter what's happening outside. Improving yourself means regaining control over what affects you. Imagine a day when someone says something you don't like and it ruins your entire mood. Sound familiar? But what Sadhguru teaches is that when we allow this, we're giving that person the key to our peace of mind. Want a practical example? The next time someone insults you, notice how your mind wants to react. Instead of reacting automatically, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you have a choice. You don't have to be a puppet to circumstances. This ability to not react automatically brings us closer to true freedom. By taking control of our internal response, we start creating a more enjoyable life experience. Imagine walking through a day full of challenges while keeping a genuine smile on your face. This isn't just about being positive, it's about mastering yourself and consciously choosing how to live each moment. Once that freedom is achieved, we can begin to experience pleasure and discomfort with much more mindfulness. Sadhguru teaches that happiness based on external factors is always unstable. When we're conditioned to seek pleasure from external things like praise, material success, or specific situations, we become dependent on their unpredictability. As soon as something goes wrong, our joy disappears. By creating internal distance from external events, we can see things more clearly. This distance helps us understand that improving ourselves isn't about relying on the world around us, but mastering our internal experience. Imagine you're having the perfect day. Everything's going smoothly, the sun is shining, people are friendly, and everything seems to be falling into place. Now imagine it suddenly starts raining, and the people around you become irritated. Do you let it affect your mood, or do you choose to hold on to your sense of well-being? Sadhguru reminds us that pleasure and discomfort are often reactive when we lack internal distance. Improving yourself means creating space between what happens and how you respond, allowing joy to remain even when circumstances change. This doesn't mean avoiding discomfort, but rather learning not to get stuck in it. When we develop the ability to observe situations without being overwhelmed by them, we can choose what's truly worth nurturing within ourselves. So, the next time something doesn't go as planned, why not pause for a moment and ask yourself, do I really need to let this ruin my day? This kind of reflection is the first step toward building a more mindful relationship with both pleasure and discomfort. Once we start creating that internal distance, we can explore both the inner and outer worlds in a more meaningful way. Sadhguru points out that while we understand the directions of the external world, like north, south, up and down, these are just conventions we've created. What's truly tangible for each of us is the distinction between what's internal and what's external. This division is something we can clearly feel, and it's this clarity that helps us navigate between our inner experiences and the world around us. When we grasp this distinction, we realize that improving ourselves starts from the inside out. Imagine a situation where you're feeling angry because of something that happened in traffic. That anger is an internal experience, but the trigger came from the external world. The confusion between what's internal and external makes us react automatically. Sadhguru encourages us to observe what's happening inside and recognize that while the external world can be chaotic, control over our internal experience is entirely up to us. Improving yourself means not letting external events dictate your inner state. According to Sadhguru, enlightenment is the point where the distinction between internal and external begins to dissolve. When everything feels connected as one continuous flow of experience, the sense of separation fades away. Imagine being able to look at the world and feel it's a part of you, with no boundaries between me and other. This creates a richer life experience, where the search for happiness stops being about something out there and becomes about discovering what's already within us. And once we reach this understanding, we can begin consciously creating inner joy. Sadhguru reminds us that every human experience, whether it's joy, sadness, or anger, happens within us. This means we have enormous power. We can decide how we feel about the world, no matter what's happening around us. Creating inner joy isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything's fine, but about taking responsibility for our internal state. Improving yourself is about transforming how you respond to the world, not just seeking external changes. Think about something as simple as hanging out with friends. Even if everything doesn't go exactly as planned, you still have the power to decide how you react. Instead of getting upset over small things that didn't work out, you can choose to enjoy the moment just as it is. That's the essence of creating inner joy, taking control of your mental and emotional state. Sadhguru reminds us that as long as our focus is on external events, our happiness will always be fragile. But when we turn inward and find joy in simply being, we begin to truly and lastingly improve ourselves. When joy becomes an internal choice, it's no longer at the mercy of people or external circumstances. Imagine being able to face tough challenges without losing your peace of mind. That's what creating inner joy is about, a skill that transforms how we experience life. By learning to cultivate this joy, you'll find that no matter what's happening around you, there's always a place within where well-being can flourish. And it's from this internal source that we can start to shape our own chemistry of happiness. Sadhguru explains that all our emotions are based on chemistry. Whether it's happiness, sadness, or anxiety, it all boils down to how our body and mind function on a chemical level. When we learn to manage our internal chemistry, we can create a state of happiness that is both natural and sustainable. Improving yourself largely means learning how to consciously influence this chemistry so you can experience lasting well-being. Imagine being able to create your own chemical soup inside, adjusting the ingredients to generate more serenity and joy. This involves adopting habits that help stabilize our internal chemistry, like physical exercise, a balanced diet, and meditation. Sadhguru suggests that these practices aren't just ways to cope with stress, they're genuine pathways to engineering happiness. By consciously controlling our biology, we begin to improve ourselves in a powerful and transformative way. The fear of suffering often holds us back from living fully. But when we understand that we have the ability to control our internal chemistry, that fear begins to fade. Imagine having the confidence that you can maintain a state of well-being no matter what happens around you. This inner security allows us to explore life without hesitation, knowing that our happiness isn't dependent on external circumstances. And as we gain this level of control, we can fine-tune our soup so that life becomes more enjoyable with each passing day. Sadhguru uses the metaphor of a soup to explain how each of us creates our own life experience. We all have the same basic ingredients, body, mind, and emotions, but the way we mix these elements determines whether our soup is satisfying. If you add the right ingredients, like positive thoughts, healthy practices, and a loving outlook on life, your soup becomes a source of bliss. Improving yourself is about learning to choose better ingredients for your inner soup. Imagine you have the choice to add patience or anger as seasoning to your day. Anger can make everything bitter, while patience makes experiences much more enjoyable. By making conscious decisions about which ingredients to include, you start to realize that you have more control over your experiences than you ever thought. Small actions like being grateful for the good things that happen are like adding herbs to enrich your soup. Every choice contributes to the quality of what we experience daily. At the end of the day, it's not about avoiding problems, but about knowing how to mix all the ingredients life throws at you. Even difficult situations can become part of a great soup if you add the right seasoning: patience, love, and understanding. The soup of life is what we make of it, and through conscious practice, we improve our recipe. When we learn to cook this soup wisely, our life experience becomes much more enjoyable. This skill helps us engineer our internal chemistry, allowing us to live in a happier, more fulfilling way. Rather than just telling people to be happy or peaceful, Sadhguru invites us to learn how to engineer our own internal chemistry. This means that instead of searching for happiness in external factors, we can work on our own biology to create a natural state of bliss. Improving yourself involves figuring out how to adjust your internal ingredients so you can effortlessly cultivate happiness and peace. By mastering our chemistry, we make our well-being a constant, no matter what's happening in the outside world. Imagine if you could ensure that, no matter what happens, your body and mind are always in sync, creating a state of happiness. This is possible when we become the alchemists of our own chemistry. Practices like meditation, yoga, and proper nutrition help regulate our internal chemistry. These adjustments create an environment where happiness can naturally thrive without needing external events to trigger it. Learning to engineer our internal chemistry becomes a powerful way to improve yourself in a meaningful way. As we engage in this process, we realize that true peace and joy don't need to be searched for in far-off places. They're already inside us, just waiting to be awakened. This changes our relationship with life, making us less reactive and more aware of our emotions and choices. When we master our own chemistry, not only do we experience more happiness, but we also create an environment where we can face life's challenges with confidence. And once our internal chemistry is balanced, we're able to explore life's true potential without fear. Sadhguru shares that he often sees people around him shedding tears of joy and love. These tears aren't from sadness or pain, but from a deep sense of gratitude and bliss. This is one of the most beautiful outcomes of mastering your internal chemistry. You reach a state where happiness overflows, touching your heart so deeply that your emotions become impossible to hold back. Improving yourself also means allowing yourself to fully feel, creating a space where love and joy are constant companions. Imagine living a day where you feel so connected with everything around you that there's no separation between you and the world. This is the kind of experience Sadhguru describes, a state of unity where joy and love flow freely, with no blockages. The tears that come are a natural expression of this experience, as if your heart is revealing itself through them. For many, it might seem strange to cry out of happiness, but it's a sign that your inner well-being has grown so deep that it breaks through all emotional barriers. Cultivating this state of bliss takes dedication and practice, but it's within reach for everyone. By committing to practices like meditation and self-reflection, we open ourselves to deeper experiences of love and joy. Imagine feeling your heart overflow with gratitude just for being alive, for everything around you, even for challenges that, in some way, help you grow. When we reach this level of well-being, joy and love aren't just fleeting emotions. They become the foundation of our existence, allowing us to explore the world with a light and full heart. Sadhguru warns that the fear of suffering is one of the greatest limitations we face in life. This fear creates an invisible barrier that holds us back from exploring the possibilities around us. When we're afraid of suffering, we shrink away and avoid experiences that could be deeply enriching. Improving yourself means overcoming this fear, accepting that suffering is a part of life, but doesn't have to define or limit us. Imagine someone who avoids falling in love because they're afraid of getting their heart broken. That fear keeps them from living fully and from truly experiencing what it means to be alive. Sadhguru teaches that when we embrace the idea that suffering may happen, but it's not the end, we free ourselves to experience life without hesitation. It's not about ignoring the risk of pain, but about not letting that risk control our actions or dreams. Improving yourself means embracing life in its fullness with both its highs and lows. When we stop fearing suffering, a natural courage emerges that allows us to explore every aspect of life. Imagine feeling the freedom to dive into something new without worrying about the outcome. That's the essence of a well-lived life, the ability to face the unknown and experience everything life has to offer, without being held back by fear. This freedom is what lets us climb the peaks of life with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, we're ready to handle any challenge that comes our way. Sadhguru suggests that true freedom isn't just about having no problems. It's about not letting external circumstances control our inner state. When we stop fearing suffering, we gain an inner freedom that allows us to live fully. Improving yourself doesn't mean avoiding challenges or pain, but learning not to be enslaved by them. This freedom is what allows us to explore life with joy and curiosity, without hesitation. Think about a tough situation, like losing a job or going through a breakup. These experiences are painful, but they don't have to destroy our inner peace. Sadhguru teaches that by creating an internal chemistry of bliss, these situations stop feeling so overwhelming. We can live in the moment, feel the pain, but not be consumed by it. Improving yourself means cultivating the ability to go through hard times with a broader perspective and a resilient heart. When we no longer fear suffering, we gain the courage to explore every aspect of life, the good and the challenging, without limitations. Imagine living with the assurance that no experience can take away your inner joy. This freedom allows us to take risks, chase our dreams, and embrace the unknown, knowing that our happiness isn't tied to the outcome. Once we achieve this inner freedom, we're ready to face life's peaks with courage and excitement. With inner freedom secured, Sadhguru encourages us to climb the peaks of life without fear of what awaits. This climb is a metaphor for facing the challenges and opportunities that come our way, always with the confidence that no matter what happens externally, our inner state will remain steady. Improving yourself means developing this unshakable confidence, knowing we can face life's highs and lows without being shaken by unexpected setbacks. Imagine standing before a major challenge, like starting your own business or making a big life change. Many hesitate, fearing the unknown or the possibility of failure, but Sadhguru teaches that with a stable inner state, any obstacle becomes just another part of the experience. Joy and courage aren't dependent on immediate success, but on the journey itself. Improving yourself means being willing to climb, to take on the adventure, even without knowing what's at the top, trusting that every step is valuable. Climbing life's peaks doesn't mean living without risks, but rather embracing them as an essential part of growth. Imagine the freedom of making bold decisions and taking on new challenges without the fear of failure. This is where true human potential blossoms. When we're no longer afraid of falling, we can reach heights that once seemed impossible. And once we're ready to face life's vast possibilities, we open ourselves to explore everything it has to offer with renewed courage and excitement. Sadhguru concludes that the true exploration of life is only possible when we're free from fear and suffering. Once we overcome these barriers, all dimensions of life become accessible. Relationships, work, spirituality, and everything else can be experienced more deeply. Improving yourself isn't just about personal growth. It's about allowing life to unfold in its fullest form, free from the limitations imposed by our fears. Imagine living without any internal restrictions, ready to explore every part of life without hesitation. This means saying yes to experiences, even those that involve risks or challenges. Sadhguru reminds us that life is full of opportunities, many of which we miss because we're afraid of the unknown or the pain that might come with it. When we choose to face whatever comes our way with courage, we create space for discoveries and a sense of freedom beyond what we thought was possible. Improving yourself is also about living without regrets, embracing the journey, and learning along the way. True exploration isn't just about physical travel to new places, it's also an internal journey, exploring our capabilities, dreams, and the potential that lives within each of us. Imagine having the courage to ask yourself what you truly want from life, and then allowing yourself to pursue those answers without fear. When we free ourselves from the chains of suffering, we begin to find joy in the journey of exploration itself, turning every moment into an opportunity for growth. Once we commit to living this way, there are no limits to what we can discover and create. Now that you've made it this far, it's time to put this knowledge into action. What changes are you willing to make today to improve yourself and live a more fulfilling life? Remember, it's not just about listening or learning, but about applying each lesson to your reality. True transformation comes from action, so take that first step and don't look back. Let every challenge become an opportunity for growth, and let every obstacle be a chance to show your strength. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep exploring more about mastering your mind and transforming your life. Let's embark on this journey of evolution together.